And now let's pivot to some big news from the Supreme Court. The justices have agreed to hear arguments about a major pillar of the current immigration system. CBS News correspondent Shanelle Kaul has been reading in on that decision. Shanelle, can you tell us more about what this case is and what the implications are?
Yeah, so Mugo, this case is about something called the metering policy. And what that means is that U.S. Customs and Border officials would have the power and the authority to stop asylum seekers who are coming here from the U.S.-Mexico border, and also, importantly, to decline to process their asylum claim. Now, this policy was put into effect, Mugo, back during the last Trump administration. It was then rescinded during the Biden administration. And then now we're hearing that the Supreme Court will hear this case sometime in the next couple of months. Before next June is when we're expected to hear a decision from them. And what that means is the Trump administration now trying to put this back into place, this metering policy. And so at issue here is not whether U.S. Customs and Border officials are allowed to do this. It's really about the jurisdiction and where this is happening, and whether those asylum seekers who are stopped on the Mexico side of the U.S.-Mexico border have technically already arrived here in the U.S., Muga. And that's an important point to mention, because according to the law, any non-U.S. citizen who arrives here in the U.S. may apply for asylum. So let me show you this petition. This was submitted to the U.S. Supreme Court. We gave this a read just a couple of moments ago. And in it, the Trump administration is arguing that the words arrive in are commonly understood to mean entering a specified location, not just coming close to it. So let me read you part of this to really illustrate the point that they're trying to make here. It says, quote, "Allied forces did not arrive in Normandy while they were still crossing the English Channel. A letter does not arrive in the mailbox while it is still in the postal worker's satchel. And a running back does not, quote, arrive in the end zone when he is stopped at the 1-yard line." So that's sort of the point that the Justice Department officials are trying to make in their statement there. On the other side of this case, though, is an advocacy group, Mugo, named El Otro Lado. They launched a legal challenge to this back in 2017 when, again, I said the Trump administration had put this policy in place. They'd formalized it. Now, in a statement to Reuters, their lawyers are saying, quote, "The government's turnback policy was an illegal scheme to circumvent these requirements by physically blocking asylum seekers arriving at ports of entry and preventing them from crossing the border to seek protection." So again, Mugo, we are still several months away from a decision here. The Supreme Court is expected to hear the case and likely issue a ruling on this sometime before June next year.
Okay, we'll see what happens on that one. Shanelle Kaul, thank you so much for your time today.